Time for another product review. This one's going to be unfair. Tell you why in a second. Officially called a Delux Wheel Spinner. I guess this is from Polar Snow Products, but the reason this one's unfair is because I already bought one of these. I watched Blue Cord video about this was his favorite attachment, not this brand, but this thing was his favorite attachment for his Ventrac. I thought, I remember those. Called them suicide knobs back when I was a kid. People be using them to turn their steering wheel. Something gets caught, you know, your sleeve gets caught, and you end up going off the road, killing yourself. So I think that there's some legal issues to using these on the road, but don't quote me, don't know. I do know that they didn't get the name suicide knob when I was younger because people just thought that they were full of clouds and ice cream. So I found this one. I bought one, and the reason it's unfair is because this is my second one. I bought one waiting for the Ventrac, delivery delayed, supply chain issues here during all the 2021, 2022 issues. I put it on my Mahindra. Started using it, loved it so much, this has to go on the Ventrac as well. This brand, I like that it's just basic, no fancy flashy stuff, no LED lights blinking in my face. You bolt this thing on the, got a little adapter so it stays, a little piece of rubber. You bolt this thing on the steering wheel, then you just rotate the steering wheel around, and as the steering wheel turns, this thing turns. This is supposedly ball bearings in here. If you listen, spins very easily, very well. It does come with everything I needed. My Mahindra steering wheel ended up using these shortest bolts. The way they come in from the bottom and poke out the top, I put the mediums in when I put it on the Mahindra. So you got 3 different lengths and the wrench. And what happened was the screws that went through actually poked out the top a little bit. Why that's bad? Well, imagine if you're doing your thing, watching the critters, scrape. So I had to take it back off and use the short bolts, so it's a matter of just getting it set up properly. It's been on there 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I'm loving every minute of it. I don't know long-term durability, but it sits out in the weather, been rained on, still works great. So we'll put this on the Ventrac and talk about it after it's on there, and we get the first little use of it. So we're going to put this one right up top. Wheels are straight. We're just going to mount it top, front, and center. And we're going to mount it perpendicular to the angle of the wheel. Looking at this diameter versus the diameter of the steering wheel, I'll bet you these screws that are in here are probably what I want anyway. So we're going to start with those. And everything you need for this kit is in here. The little Allen wrench, a little piece of rubber to keep it from spinning. So those are the default screws. If we just hold this up here, just as a dry fit. By the time I put the piece of rubber in there, these might be too short. Okay, let's try the medium screws first. 2 medium screws. A little piece of rubber. Seems silly, but we're going to put it on upside down. And yes, it is a windy day. Thank goodness it didn't fall on the ground. And they both catch. Now, rotate it around. Keep the rubber in there. Let me get these in. I'll go through. Bolt them on. There, another thing. All right. There you have it. Very complicated install. Now I got some leftover bolts to go with all the other leftover bolts, and yet again another Allen wrench to put with my collection of Allen wrenches. Let's check some fluids and give this thing a try.